this since Bush administration 2. I've been in the space. I've been in all these groups. I have met so many government contractors in my life, and I've never heard any of them speak like this. There's something off. Being an entrepreneur, everything impacts one another. And I want people to see, like, this is real. And these are the trials and tribulations you go through.
So if you're broke, no money, you can get a government contract and it can change your situation.
Right, or if somebody is a felon, you can get a contract too. We are programmed. So it's about questioning, what is it that you're consuming? What are your beliefs? No different than government contracting. If the belief is, oh, I can't do it, I need to have a job, I need to have a 401k, that has nothing to do with government contracting. That has to do with you and scarcity and security. We get what we believe. So if you believe it's gonna take a long time, whatever it is, if you believe it's going to be hard, if you believe it's horrible, if you believe it's terrible, if you believe something negative, guess what? That's what you will get.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Honor Pursuit Podcast. I have the esteemed pleasure and privilege to be in Tulum, Mexico. Who would have thought the podcast brought you to Tulum? Well, actually, about maybe a year ago, I was in Mexico and I did shoot an episode. So it's not my first time. But it's my first time in Tulum though, right? And I am here with this amazing guest who is gonna break down a lot of game to y'all, but we're gonna have an amazing conversation. She brought me all the way to Tulum from Los Angeles. And when I hit her up, you was just like, pull up. I'm like, where? Mexico. I'm like, all right, cool, we're in Mexico. So anyway, this amazing entrepreneur, she goes crazy in the government contracting space. If you guys have been paying attention to the podcast, I brought another gentleman on here. Shout out to my guy, Government Cheese, who also was in the government contracting space. So I was like, just amazed to find Kizzy, right? Who's also in this space, but also is going crazy in this space.
Right.
Right. So today's episode is just going to be amazing. So welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
Listen, thanks for having me. I must say, I'm slightly disappointed.
Why?
Because you didn't give me the protocol. So I'm sitting here, guys, with a stomach ache. Low key, it's not Kizzy's fault though. She told me that the water was not.
It's cursed. Yeah. You can't drink the water in Mexico.
I know about that. Yeah, I know.
But I didn't know he didn't know. I mean,
who was gonna tell me?
I thought maybe.
I bet you if I Googled it now, or if I looked up on YouTube now, it'd probably tell me, right?
It's going to tell you.
All right. So why shouldn't we drink, and why shouldn't they drink the water?
It's cursed.
What do you mean?
Due to, just look up the history of Mexico.
Okay.
Due to the things that happened, some really bad things happened. Water's cursed. And I mean, you can go into the technical things if you want, look at the water system, et cetera, but at the end of the day.
You think it's beyond the water
It's
system?
way beyond that.
Yeah.
You can't drink the water.
Yeah.
You have to bring in bottled water or like a reverse osmosis or bring in machines.
Okay. So y'all listen, don't drink the water.
Please
and don't have a stomach ache like me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
sorry.
This is like a Michael Jordan episode. This is like the flu game.
Whoa,
you know what I'm
this
saying?
is
Because
like a flu
I got
game.
a stomach ache, but we still going crazy on the podcast.
Right.
Because anyone else would have just been like, yo, we can't do it.
Right. Or like Mike Tyson when he was sick and he fought and he won.
This is what it's about. This is championship level. So what has brought you to Tulum? Let's start there, right? Because you've been here for a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know when we first talked, you just got here pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I came here to change my life.
What was wrong with your life before?
A lot of things.
Yeah, okay, well.
It's one of those things where like you don't know what anybody's going through unless they share with you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I wasn't happy.
Where were you living at the time?
Okay, so I have a couple of residences. So I vote in Miami Beach and I have a place in Western Michigan.
Okay.
And I have investment property.
All right.
So just to put it out there. So I was living where I vote in good old Miami Beach.
Okay.
So in Miami Beach, but I was super unhappy.
In Miami Beach?
In Miami Beach.
Okay.
South of 5th.
Okay.
You can see Poppy Steak. You can see celebrities. You can look and see the port. I mean, it's a very beautiful place.
I'm about to move there.
Well, you should move
So
there.
you telling me I'm about to be unhappy once I get there?
Happiness is where you are, not where you live. Right.
There you go. You say it. There you go. By the way, this is bottled water.
Yes, it is. It's Aquapana. They need to sponsor you. They need to sponsor this one.
Okay, so you were in Florida, Miami Beach.
Miami
unhappy.
Beach. Unhappy.
Yeah.
Really overweight. miserable. Like, I was like, so this is it? Like, this is my life? And then I was like, I'm not the best version of me. Like, I knew it. Like, I felt it. Like, on the outside, it looked amazing. Like, okay, winning contracts, have team members, you know, kind of around that time I was married, if friends, family, what may have you. And then COVID, got divorced. And then I was like, okay, I thought I'd be happy. I get divorced.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
So it was like, oh man. So maybe I tried this. So it was like, I tried all these things and I was like, man, I'm still not happy.
Where were your friends?
They're there.
But like, did you have, cause you know how they say like, check on your strong friends? But then like, you probably seem like you were probably the strong friend. So like, do you have friends that like, was checking on you? Cause I don't really have friends that check on me because they think I'm the strong friend. And it's cool, I'm fine. But you know, it's seldom that when you're the leader or you're the one that's really moving and shaking, your friends normally look up to you, so they assume that you're good. So did you have any friends that was like checking on you during that time? Like really checking on you?
No.
Okay.
Not really, but also ducks pick ducks.
Ducks pick ducks.
Right. Like if you ever see ducks and then they follow each other. So it's not as if my friends were amazing and fabulous and super happy, right? I had friends that were somewhat like me. Because ducks pick ducks.
There you go.
So, and this isn't to diminish my friends or to speak badly about them. It's just that they were similar.
Yeah.
Questionable marriages, not very happy, not the fittest people, not, you know, having trials and tribulations in their lives. So how can one check in on me?
When they got their own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I respected that. And the other thing that I did, I never talked about my marriage.
That's kind of like that's a pro and a con.
Well, for me as a pro, I think it's disrespectful to speak about it because I knew. I'm like, I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do talking about it?
Yeah, because you're not really fixing that. Though.
Right.
Yeah.
So made a bunch of changes. And what the thing that was the biggest eye-opener was that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this like internal work thing.
That was the eye-opener?
Yeah.
Okay. How so?
Well, because I started working out. I actually lost weight during COVID. So started working out, got a divorce, decided, hey, I'm going to start posting things about government contracting.
So prior to COVID and divorce, your YouTube channel wasn't popping?
No, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
I was on LinkedIn every now and again and just running my businesses and being miserable and hanging out on the couch.
I gotcha.
Yeah, like for real. That was it. Oh, and I traveled a lot to escape. So I would travel, go to an event here, go to wherever. It was like, oh, Kizzy's always traveling.
Yeah.
She's traveling, right? So then fast forward, I thought, okay, this is great. I'm doing all the things, right? Doing all the things, but I'm like, I'm still not happy. Seeing all these coaches, paying for all these coaches. Then a couple of things. I come across spiritual advisors, the Hood Healer, and Hawaii.
Spiritual advisors, the Hood Healer?
And Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Was the Hood Healer really in the hood? Would it? Or was it?
Well, the Hood gave her the name.
Oh, nice.
Her name is Imani Cohen.
Okay, but
she has changed my life.
Hood Healer on Instagram?
On Instagram and on X.
Okay, I got you.
Changed my life. She's amazing. So through all of that, spiritual advisors, Hawaii, Hood Healer.
How long was you in Hawaii, by the way?
I think I went 4 times in less than a year.
Different island, same island?
Same island.
Okay. So there's something at that island.
Oh, magical.
What was in the what island and what was there?
Oahu. Plus, we had 1 contract, and then we ended up with 2 contracts there. So I had employees there too.
Yeah.
That was kind of the justification for going.
Yeah.
Government contracts, just put that out.
Yeah.
I know, we'll talk about it, but I'm just saying, just letting you know, that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
You can have contracts anywhere in the world, in the country. So I go there, and I learned several things.
Okay, in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
Okay.
I learned that there's a lot of healing to be done. I learned
About you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All about me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, what? Like, I have an advanced psychology degree. What do you mean healing? I thought, I'm working out, I'm single, whatever. Isn't my life supposed to be amazing? I'm successful or whatever. Okay. Then they bring up how I'm intuitive. Basically, I'm psychic, but we can go into that if we
Well,
want
your
to or
psychic
not.
self did not tell me about the water. You should know.
I know, but I just was like, it's a given, y'all. Never mind, Sharon.
I'm just giving her a hard time.
It is all right. I do feel bad about it.
It's okay. It's
you
not your
know.
fault. I didn't know.
It's all right.
Yeah, but I had to learn the hard way.
You do have to learn the hard
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You know, we all learn the hard way.
Flu game.
It is.
Flu pod.
Food, that's right.
Hey.
Food pod.
Okay.
So then that led into, okay, I need to go back to learn more from certain spiritual advisor, Aman is her name. Then it led to connecting with other spiritual advisors, and then eventually this amazing woman, Jungle Johanna on Instagram.
Jungle Johanna and the Hood Healer.
So Jungle Johanna on Instagram had mentioned to me about the Hood Healer. So Jungle Johanna, model, Pilates instructor. She's amazing in Miami Beach.
Hold on. Let me save these people real quick. I might put them below for y'all too.
You should. Jungle Johanna is amazing.
I'm gonna just save them real quick. You know, just as a footnote.
Hood Healer is amazing.
So we got the Hood
Healer.
Healer.
Imani Cohen.
Hood Healer. Yep, she's really here, y'all. And then Jungle. How you spell Johanna?
I think it's Joh.
Johanna, something like that.
Yeah, she with the big hair.
Okay, gotcha.
You'll see her fro.
We gonna go back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going through my transformation, and at some point in time, Jungle Johanna had mentioned Hood Healer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, she's seeing the Hood Healer, like seeing, meaning taking in the content, whatever else may be going on. I need to look into this too, because Johanna's really wise. So fast forward, I start taking in all this information and going on this transformation, and the Hood Healer talked profusely about inner child work. So, and shadow work. I was like, what is this tomfoolery? Like, what is this? I don't even know what is this? Like, I don't understand this. I'm like, inner child work? Like, I don't need this. Like, for real. I mean, I was just like, whatever. So it was last summer when I was in Michigan, because I like to spend the summers in Michigan, because it's beautiful,
Makes
Western
sense.
Michigan.
Yeah, not the winters.
No, not the winter at all. And so she ended up having an inner teen workshop. It's virtual. I think she had one meetup, but it doesn't matter. I was like, okay, I'll do this inner teen workshop. And what really got me during that inner teen workshop and further opened me up to growth and what eventually led me here is you do a lot of, there's these prompts, questions that you answer about being a teen and all of these things. And so
Like teenager?
Teenager.
Okay.
Being a teenager. And I'm on the Zoom. It's predominantly women. There may have been one male. And I remember this young lady gets on, and she was talking about how she couldn't really remember certain things.
From her youth.
Right. And I'm looking at her thinking, this woman looks like she's 20. And I'm like, I'm 28 for life, and I can't remember. And I thought initially it was an age thing. And I was like, no, it's not. It's really about you have to work through all the trials and tribulations, and now I get it. Now I see why she mentions, she being Imani Cohen, Hood Healer, going through inner child, going through inner teen, because it's like, if this woman who looks like she's in her early 20s doesn't remember high school, which was like 3 years ago, this is intense. And all of this impacts who we are.
100%, yeah.
Everything about us.
Yeah.
How we lead, how we operate, how we work, how we parent, how we show up, period. So then I was like, okay, I'm hooked. So I finished the inner teen, did the inner child, booked a club with Imani, booked the inner child with Imani. I went to Imani's Conjure Academy. Woo, I came here.
Did some work. It sounded like you did some work.
Like, so that was from August.
Yeah.
Then October, I came to Tulum and met with Imani virtually. Plus, I did a ton of work here. I went to so many things. So many different things. Reiki and sound bowl and this and that and things I don't even know the name of them. And I did all that. So then I was like, okay, this is great. I'm getting there. And then I was like, I got to come back because I can't be the best version of myself if physically I'm not the best version of myself. And this isn't about like for some people, it's, oh, I got to look a certain way or weigh a certain amount and then I will love myself. This is not that. This is not that. Oh, I love myself. Like, no matter. Like, I know I'm cute. I know what's up. So I was like, I had to be healthy. And I can't consume processed things and live the way I was living to be the best version of myself, to put my gift out, to help people, to provide light. So it's like, I got to come here, continue working out, change up my diet. So I did, following this diet that Eddie Abneu, he's also on Instagram.
She's doing a lot of dropping, y'all. She giving y'all some gems, some non-contract gems.
Right, because it's all free.
Yeah.
Why gatekeep? Why not share? I mean, I'm not going to BS you or, this just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because how can we all grow if people are like, no, well, I don't really want to say what I did. You got to pay for my stuff. Like, that's ridiculous. Because that's not how people were with me.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. So life has been changing fast.
Yeah.
Fast. Things happen so fast for me here.
And now you're here for how long now?
Indefinitely.
Oh. So you still got the place in Miami? Okay.
Yes.
You still got the place in Miami.
Still got a place in Michigan.
Still got a place in Michigan. Got the investment properties. And now you got roots here now.
Got roots here in Tulum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I like it.
I love it, man. I'm glad you like it. I love it.
I like it.
I love it here.
So I found you two ways. First way I found you was through Kevin.
Good.
Yeah.
I love Kevin.
Yeah.
I interviewed him for my channel.
Yeah, I seen that. It was a really good interview.
Thank you.
So I found through him, and then also through Marvin and Gloria.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I love them.
So normally I don't need like 3 signs typically. But if I see like 2 things, it's enough. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what's going on. So I did a little bit of research, right? Kevin was always in government contract, and I'm like, I don't know no one else in this space. Then I saw you in this space, and then you were very loud on YouTube, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very, very loud on YouTube. So I was like, you know what? She looks like not only does she have the information, she got the energy. I gotta meet her. So that's what led me here.
Is your revenue stuck? If you're an entrepreneur and your revenue is stuck, you don't need to fix your products or services. You need new audiences to discover you more consistently. Podcast guesting is the ideal way to be discovered 24 hours a day by your ideal clients. And guess what? The more people that know you, the more people can flow you. Head over to podcastmasterypack.com and take advantage of your first or next podcast. Let's go.
What made you start the YouTube channel, and then what made you just become so loud on there, and then your commitment level, and then how you helping people with government contracting?
Attention. So at one point in time, I paid for one-on-one coaching with Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
And with his wife.
So separately or
Separately.
collectively?
Separately.
Okay.
And he talked about it. I mean, he talks about it online, but he talked about it when we met one-on-one. And he said, Kizzy, if this is the path you want to go, then you got to be known and you got to put out content and do all these things. So I remembered that. But how I fell into YouTube, I'll share that.
Yeah.
So during COVID.
So Grant Cardone said, get out there.
Get out there.
Get attention.
He's like, get attention. He gave me really good tips for.
So you paid, what, 6 figures for that?
Oh, easily.
Yeah, to learn that?
Well, it was more than that.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, that's.
Easily.
Yeah. So 6 figures for that. And then.
There's way more.
What did Elaine teach you?
Way more.
More stuff.
Oh.
Awesome.
Way more.
Okay, cool.
Way more.
All right, and then YouTube.
Yeah. So during COVID, the seed was kind of planted for YouTube. Okay? And, probably like many of you, I was on Clubhouse. Clubhouse was going crazy.
Yeah.
And I would pop in and out. And
did you have your own room, or you just popping in and out of other rooms?
I maybe had a room every now and again. I was just kind of going all over.
Okay.
All hours of the day.
Yeah.
And I would come across. Oh, bless their hearts. I'd come across these interesting government contracting rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I heard people talk in ways I had never heard anyone talk.
Okay.
In ways in my life.
Like what?
As a government contractor.
You remember something?
Oh, this is gonna change your life, and it's changed my life and my kid's life and and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What? And then they would never, ever mention the name of their business. Because you can look up companies. So I was like, this is very peculiar. I've been doing this since Bush administration 2, Bush 2. I've been in the space. I've been in all these groups. I've been on the Joint Diversity Commission with the National Guard. I have met so many government contractors in my life, and I've never heard any of them speak like this. There's something off. But remember, kind of miserable, figuring out my life, so I just kept it moving, right? Kept it moving.
But you took a note.
Took a note.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and I remember hearing about YouTube from, because this was way before I paid Grant. So from Gary Vee and others, like it's like, oh, YouTube, whatever, like that's not for me. And I'll just focus on LinkedIn because that's more professional. And I'm Dr. Park, so I'll be on LinkedIn. I'll be on LinkedIn because that's where, I'm supposed to be. So, so silly I was. So I continue on. Then I start getting emails and phone calls, like 2019 to 2021. Hey, I can help you win a contract. I was like, what do you mean? Well, I took a course. I took so-and-so's course, and you're going to pay me like $5,000 or something, and I'm going to find you a contract. I was like, oh, okay, great. So what contract you going to find me? And who have you found contracts for in the past? What? I really haven't, but I took the course, and that's what they said. And the person, I could feel their energy, like they were sincere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this isn't how this works. This is not like a dating service. Like, this is not matchmaking. Like, I know how to find contracts. So there are people who do broker or find you contracts, but they have like a history of it. And I got the sense this was pitched as a way to get people's money and to sell them a dream.
Yeah.
And maybe connected back to Clubhouse, maybe not, right? I don't know. Then I started getting emails. Hey.
How are you getting these emails?
Well, because as a government contractor, and I allow for my information to be public.
Gotcha.
All my information's there. You can see it. Get an email, lots of emails. Oh, your 8A is expiring. We can do that. And I was like, oh, okay, really? Do you have an 8A? No. Do you have contracts? No. I saw this thing online, or I watched TikTok, or I was on Clubhouse, and I was just like, oh my gosh, and it was sad because it was just numerous people either under the belief that they can just consult, make money, that you were just going to partner with them and work on some government work, or people who were like dabbling in government and thought they're entitled to get a contract. And I was like, this is maddening. Especially because most people look like us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. Because again, I predominantly was focusing in Melbourne, Florida, like when I started. I didn't have work in Melbourne, Florida, but that's where I cut my teeth.
Yeah.
And Orlando, Florida has a huge government contracting hub in addition to Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
But I thought, again, what is happening? I'm like, I need to put information out there because my mentor was so giving to me. So I thought, well, this is kind of my way to give. Plus, you give back. I'm a teacher at heart. So I started out on, of course, LinkedIn. So I started out on LinkedIn, and it just felt weird. And then I hired Graham Stephan as my first YouTube coach.
I'm going to get him on the pod. I like Graham.
Yeah, I love him too.
Yeah,
I love Graham.
Yeah.
And he had a YouTube coaching. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like $300 a month.
$300, yeah.
It was something crazy.
Yeah.
And so I started that, and even then, I think I had my channel, and I was like reusing this content, and I had a video editor. But I was just kind of, again, like, I don't even know. So, and I wasn't serious. I just knew that I had to put out information. I want to help people. I need to work on me. And I think I need to do something with YouTube. I know I need to do something, but I don't really know exactly what. So that's where I was. Then maybe after, I don't know when it was. Maybe the fall Like after I was here in Tulum in that fall, which I mean was this past fall, I was like, okay, I need to keep fixing me, healing me, doing my thing.
And to help people at the same time?
Paused YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We had content, so none of y'all knew.
Yeah.
You didn't
You had
know.
enough content out there, yeah.
Yeah, it was enough content. I mean, we definitely took a hit on the ad revenue, but it was okay. But there was still content, so you would have never really known. And I said, okay, once I get through the year and I go back to Tulum, it's on.
You're going crazy.
It's on. I'm devoting my entire life to YouTube. I told my team, I put it out there to the universe. I said, I am going all in on YouTube and social media.
Well, I mean, you attracted me, so it worked.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the case. Every platform except Snapchat and Pinterest.
Yeah. Makes sense. And you were going crazy on there, like, for real, for real.
No, like for real.
No, I know.
Because it's my calling
So
to help, not just with government contracting,
Yeah.
in general.
So let's just talk about the YouTube direction at the moment. And you know, we've been kind of talking a little bit, still haven't
Yeah.
touched on government contract.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So there's a lot of, just from the content standpoint, right? And helping people standpoint, there's a lot of people that get stuck on content creation and also stuck on putting it out, stuck on, well, how do I look when I'm putting it out? I don't want them to see how I look, or, you know what I mean? All these things that's stopping people from just helping people. But I always kind of bring it back to real life. Typically, if you and I, let's say you and I walk down the street, right? And let's say you don't have the big YouTube presence right now, but you and I just walk down the street and you already do what you do. If you saw someone that needed help, you help them. Yeah. But that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to content, you can do that, but if you don't like it, you could always delete it or not even put it out. But it also stops people from creating it, which I think is kind of backwards in my mind. You know what I'm saying? To me. So, did you have any of that obstacles during the creation? And then what could you share with people that kind of help you to commit, but then just put stuff out? You know, because I think that would really help a lot of people.
That's a good question. Because fear is strong. But fighting for our excuses is stronger.
That's to keep them.
And keep them and keep
Yeah.
fighting for them.
Yeah.
And fight for them more than anything. Oh, I can't be on YouTube. Oh, nobody's going to watch me. 3 people were on my live. That's cool. Fight for your excuses. Because
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm going to prevail.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I just didn't know. I was like, well, I guess I'll interview people. But I knew this. I knew I needed an editor.
Yeah.
I understand editing. I got it. But I'm like, I need an editor. So I found MD. He's amazing. He's in India.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you have an editor.
Yeah. It's easier that way.
Way
You
easier.
just stay in your genius. Create, dump, edit, get back. Let's go, upload.
Keep
rinse,
it
repeat.
moving.
Yeah.
And then in the beginning, I made the mistake of focusing on what I wanted to put out.
That's see right there. That's a big one.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, well, I'm going to put out content on 8A and CPARs. And then I was like, okay, people aren't really watching this, but then they watched my interview with this woman. I was like, okay. Then I leaned into, well, what should I put out? What are people talking about? So then I infiltrated various Facebook groups and other platforms because I didn't know. Because, I mean, I've been in government, especially when I had the channel, I'd been in government contracting over 10 years. So it's like when you try and teach somebody to drive, you're like, oh, why aren't you doing this? Because you've been driving like 40 years, 20 years, 10 years. So you're teaching somebody who's never driven.
From your level.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do people need help with? And so topics started coming up.
You got the inspiration from Facebook groups and
everything. Facebook groups, just paying attention on LinkedIn, just Googling, looking online, and just what do people have questions about? So then I started creating content. And the breakthrough moment was in 1 month, I think we posted almost every day. And we got a lot of traction. And a few months later, we were monetized. And I was like, oh, okay, this is it. And then the other breakthrough point was when I took that time off. So I'm like, okay, I need to take this time off and really further lean into what's important for everyone. Oh, and the other big takeaway too, because people, oh, bless their hearts, they think it has to be perfect. I have to get the most expensive camera. I have to have the best lights. I have to have the most amazing background. I have to have the most amazing, nope, not at all. I learned that from Alex Hormozy. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's calling from like being a hostage. If you see some of his videos, it's like him in a thing that looks like a closet.
Yeah.
But it's not about this. It's about the content, the value, or do you provide fun or entertainment? It's what you offer. And I was like, oh, okay. Because sometimes you get hung up on that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, as long as you have decent audio, a little decent light.
You need, okay, I would add to that. You know, I feel like you could start with your phone.
Right, you sure can.
But I would say, if you do have a little bit of change, I would invest in a good mic and a light.
Yeah.
And then probably a tripod.
Minimum.
Yeah, those three things, you could probably get all three. Like, if you got a low budget, you could probably get all three for like $100.
Easily.
Yeah. It's not gonna be like the pristine, but you can get a decent mic for like $25 from Amazon that's gonna do the job. You can definitely get a light for like $25 on Amazon that's gonna do the job. And then that $50 you spend on like a decent tripod.
Right.
You lit. You good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
That's literally all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's put yourself in the position of the viewer. That's all you gotta do.
So that means what, though?
So for me, it's when I first started out. What were the questions that I had when I started out?
Yeah.
What are the people who are just starting out? What are their questions? What are the questions of the people who maybe have won a contract? What are the questions and concerns of people who are felons? Because you can be a felon and get contracts.
I heard that.
You can.
Yeah.
So it's like putting myself in their shoes. And I got another really good tip as I went along. This one gentleman said to me, he said, when you're doing this, put yourself in the position of like you're talking to a friend at Starbucks.
Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And then just trial and error. I mean, there's certain things I do. You know, I do have a background in psychology.
Okay.
So there's little Easter eggs, little things that
what are you diagnosing to the people through the content?
Giving away all right. You know, Chef, I'm doing it'll come out when it comes out. It'll come out when it comes out. But I'll throw in Easter eggs and and the other thing is your personality. Because some people will say, well, Kizzy, isn't it just saturated? Can I really put, and it's like,
yeah, I hate that.
Let's pause.
Have they been down the bread aisle lately?
Have they not looked at fast food? How many hamburger places are there?
For real, hamburger and bread, and socks, and shoes, and everything. Yeah.
Pizza?
Air is saturated. Did you know the air is saturated? The air is saturated.
You know, and then like every channel on YouTube is a reflection of the creator.
Yeah.
Or the team or whatever is the family, whoever the creators are. So you just be you.
Yeah.
So with that, I was like, oh, it's over now. I'm going to talk about my Lions. Love my Detroit Lions. I'm going to talk about my hair.
You know, I have this gift in my one of my workshops. And the gift is talking about how make a commitment or you're going to fumble the ball.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But the gift is of one of the Detroit Lions players who actually fumbled the ball. It's pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it,
it's okay.
The gift wasn't relevant while they was in the playoffs, but then when they lost the playoffs, and they had a big lead and they still lost,
right?
It became super relevant.
I'm sure it was extremely relevant. I will just put this out there because y'all can go back to this. They're going to the Super Bowl.
I believe it.
No, they're going to the Super Bowl.
When? 2025?
Yeah, 25, 24, 25.
24, 25.
Yeah, they're going.
All right.
You know.
Okay.
Things happen.
Listen, we can pull this out.
Oh, no, it's going to happen. I'm just letting you know.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I believe it.
Love my Lions.
So you talk about the Lions.
Talk about my Lions.
Personality.
Giving
value.
Giving
Easter
value.
eggs. What else?
I incorporate other things.
Yeah.
Because I am me, just like all the other creators are them. So I talk about motivation. I use oracle cards. I talk about God. I talk about everyday life. Like I share my fitness journey. I share everything. There's nothing like sobriety, everything. Because being an entrepreneur is not like, oh, that's over here. I go to work. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've read enough research on that. I know what's up. You know, everything impacts one another. And I want people to see, like, this is real. And these are the trials and tribulations you go through, regardless if you choose government contracting or not. Like, this is life.
Yeah.
So, like to bring value. ad.
I think you're doing
fire.
it. You're bringing a lot of value. You're bringing like a
thank
lot
you.
of value.
Well, thank
like
you.
for real.
Thank you.
And like, regardless of the subject matter of your YouTube, like you providing a lot of value, a lot of energy. And it's just like I said, it's loud, but it's loud in a good way. It's not loud in like a calm down way. It's like you're noticeable. You come there, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, but who's this person? I don't know who it is.
Not
but
playing games.
I'm on here.
Not playing games. Because I know it works. Like, there's messages every day in my Facebook group or DMs. I want a contract. Whether they bought a book, they bought one of my courses, they're in my higher end coaching, or they just watched a video.
Yeah.
I just interviewed a gentleman, Noor. He was like, Kizzy, I talked to my parents about this. I was interested in this. He's like, I came across your content. He's like, I registered. And his parents have like a construction background. So they were trying to lead him that way. And he was like, he was entrepreneurial, but he's like, I don't really want to do construction. He's like, I went on sam.gov and realized, oh my gosh, the government buys so much. So he's on there, boom, within 20 days, he won an oil and gas blanket purchase agreement. Come on. What business can you do that in?
3 weeks, crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, one of the first questions I was going to ask you about government contract was how fast can someone win a contract?
As fast as you want to. But I believe that about practically everything in life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people want to come for me with that.
What do you mean? Where are they coming for you? How?
Oh, there's a lot of people. It's quite interesting.
All right, well, let's talk
I'm
about
like, this is so interesting. Like, you don't have time for other things, but you want to come for this beauty. So people will say like, why do you say it's so fast or it's so easy? And then other people, especially those who don't look like you, they say it's on skill or, it's really intriguing. And my thing is, we get what we believe. So if you believe it's going to take a long time, whatever it is, to get promoted, to get married, your kid, whatever it is, if you believe it's going to be hard, if you believe it's horrible, if you believe it's terrible, if you believe something negative, guess what? That's what you will get. So why am I going to tell you it's super hard when, number one, I don't believe that, and number two, that's not what happened with me. That's not what happened with me. I'm not the person who had a cage code and 5 years later I got a contract. No, I was a graduate student at graduate research fellow.
Tell them right there.
Graduate research fellow at Patrick Air Force Base Defense Equal Opportunity Management Institute. And the director of research, when he heard I was about to become Dr. Parks, he said, I want to keep you on as a contractor. What will it cost me? And I remember thinking, this is how my job, big girl salary negotiation is going to go, being asked by the director of research who I had no idea knew my name in the hall, like with all the cubicles. And I threw out a number right under 100,000. And he's like, yes. And he was like, his eyes lit up and he has these bright blue eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess, I don't know what I just did, but we're doing something.
Yeah.
So how can I sit here and say government contracting is hard? When that happened, that's where my start. So I started, and now I have about 100 people. So I'm not gonna say it's hard. Some people may believe playing football is hard. Don't get me started, because I can throw a football too.
Do you have a video with you throwing the football?
I don't have a video of me throwing a football, but I had a couple football coaches.
Well, I was saying about the content. That might be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have any videos when I was training with Derek or the other guy, any me throwing.
Yeah.
But I can throw a football.
I believe it.
I can run plays.
I believe that.
I'm very athletic.
Listen, I believe it.
Listen, I'm not to be played with. Because I sincerely believe everything is possible and it doesn't have to be hard. That doesn't mean that you're entitled or you open up the door and it's like, here's a government contract, sign here. You have to put in the work.
Of course.
But why must it be hard?
Yeah.
There's a difference between hard and putting in the work. And it's just a mentality thing. So that's why I'm really focused on easy. It can be quick, but often people are scared. That's why they don't get it. And when I say they don't get it, they don't get an award. It can be that easy, Kizzy. That's cool. You can doubt me. I don't care. The only person I worry about who judges me is God. So I don't care. I don't care. It's the government. Why would they buy from me? Okay. So much paperwork. I don't want to read. Okay. Again, fight for your excuses.
I feel like, what you just made me think about with that one is like, You know how like we got paid for so much stuff. I feel like you getting an award is like the government finally paying you back.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
That's how I look at it too.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at
You're
it.
getting your taxpayer dollars back
Listen
in
to
many
that.
ways. No, you
Light
are.
bulb.
You are.
Light bulb.
You really are.
Yeah.
I mean, I just interviewed a woman, Nakia.
Shout out to Nakia.
Shout out to Nakia. Check out the interview on my YouTube channel, Kizzy Parks. Amazing interview. She had her cage code for 2 years. Then she saw one of my videos where I said, "Are you broke?" And she was like, "I am. You need to do government contracting." So she went forward, bid on a commercial real estate opportunity, ended up making over $20,000 on that. Just like that. She doesn't own the property.
You know what's good about that? What did you just say? What was the video?
Are you broke?
Okay. So okay, segue, right? So I always thought about this, especially I was talking to Kevin, but I think you kind of like affirmed it. If you were like, because you also mentioned being like, you know, like a felon, like an ex-felon. So if you're broke, no money, or like really severely check to check, like, you know, you don't really have nothing for you after you pay these bills or whatever, you can get a government contract and it could change your situation.
Right, or if somebody is a felon, you can get a contract too.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
Because felons, you get a regular job, it's harder for you to get a regular job than if you get a government contract. What about, so I live in California. So in California is like aggressive with the homelessness, especially in Los Angeles. They always, well, I don't want to say they're always looking for, but if you are homeless and you're on the streets, you can get a government contract, it change the situation.
You could change your situation. There's no reason you can't.
Yeah.
Now, I will add, there may be certain felonies and certain bodies of work that may preclude someone from getting it. Of course, you know, I want to add that. But for anyone who's like I got a DM today, like he was like, he committed some kind of petty act. I think he was 17. It was felon or something, but he got it expunged. Well, that's completely different.
Yeah.
He's going to be okay. But you still got to take the chance. Don't count yourself out. That's the other thing about government contracting is people count themselves out.
Yeah, before they even go.
Right.
Yeah.
But how is it that Nakia won and Noor won and Brandon won? How is it that somebody saw something in me? I didn't go around, oh, I want to be a government contractor. Oh, I can't wait. I just was like, I'm going to graduate soon. Woo! Like, so it's this beautiful space, over $800 billion.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's Chile. It's Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have companies like Amazon, SpaceX,
Yeah.
Lockheed, Boeing. Why can't we do this?
Facts.
There's a reason.
So my audience is a lot of, make sure we get on time, right?
You're good. We can go a
Okay.
little longer. I'll make her wait.
So my audience is, I got two.
Okay.
Split audience.
Okay.
So my audience is podcasters who I finally got them to believe that they can monetize without having brand deals, sponsorships, or having a large
Good.
audience, right? So if they were going to get into this space and see what kind of government contracts might be available for like a podcast or a content creator, what would be there for them?
They have to ask themselves, what do you want to sell? Do you want to be like an expert and only offer podcasting and video? You can.
Yeah.
The government buys podcast services. One of my students actually just submitted for a video editing opportunity.
And they don't even got to edit. You can subcontract
No, yeah,
that.
of course subcontract.
That's crazy. That's another one,
I
for
know.
real. Imagine that. You get a government contract for editing. You don't even got to edit because then you got a VA that's going to do the editing. You just collecting a check.
Because that's exactly what the big businesses do.
100%.
Lockheed Martin will get a contract and then they subcontract and then they may sub and they may sub.
Yeah.
So different than Amazon. Who's delivering your packages? It's not an employee of Amazon.
Not at all.
They wear the vest.
And they're not even, they wear the vest. And nowadays, they just pulling up in their own cars.
Cars.
Yeah,
They pull up in
they're
their
not
own
even
cars.
driving the Amazon trucks
Nope.
no more.
Oh, goodness, no.
Yeah. Somebody can run, so somebody can do Amazon, Uber, and Uber Eats, and Lyft, and then what's the other one where they pick up your packages? I mean, not pick up your packages, your groceries. They got that in Mexico?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I know
Well,
here in
they'll
Mexico.
They'll shop for you? Yeah. I forget what it's called.
We even have that here in Mexico.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
But-
can do government contracting on the side.
Come on now.
You don't have to do it full time.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it full time. But there's endless opportunities to get involved. Because in going back to the podcasters and to your amazing audience, if you're more entrepreneurial, then sell what they want.
Yeah.
I always say you sell according to how they're buying. So, for instance, they buy a lot of religious services. It's some of the easiest work to win. We have a lot of religious people who work for us because at military bases and posts, they have a chapel. Who works in the chapel? They're not government employees. That priest doesn't work for the government.
Yeah.
He works for somebody like me. So that's an opportunity if you're open. You can sell video cameras and
The actual equipment.
right. You can sell the equipment. You can sell. You can look into selling clothing. You can do staffing. You can provide services. You can provide medical. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So for those who are super entrepreneurial, you can sell anything that you want that you're okay with. Like Noor, his background is not oil and gas. He found an oil and gas company.
I met someone recently at OKC. And they're in that space. And they actually now want to get into, letting more people know about the opportunities. Because I guess, like even myself, when it comes to oil and gas, you might just think it's just buy and sell, but there's tons of different things that you can do in that space. Yeah.
There's tons.
Yeah.
And I also interviewed another gentleman, Antonio. He won an oil and gas contract too.
Hey, listen, if you're looking to grow your podcast business or you're looking to leverage podcasts to grow your business, you want to tap in to the Podcast to Profits Academy. We're going to teach you exactly what it takes for you to get more exposure to grow and scale your business or leverage podcasts so you can do more revenue. What you want to do is head over to podcast2profits.com and apply to work with me and a member of my team.
So they can get it fairly quick. Whatever they believe,
Whatever
it
they
can
believe,
happen.
it will happen.
Right? What is it? How many steps is it there? How many steps is it?
It's only a few steps.
Going from like, I'll watch this podcast, I'll watch Kizzy's content on YouTube, I'll do nothing about nothing. How many steps does it take for me to get in position to win an award?
I feel like there's more steps to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop than for government contracting.
That's crazy.
One, you need a business.
Okay.
It can be a sole proprietorship, an LLC, S Corp, C Corp. It doesn't matter.
So you need a business.
You need a business.
Okay.
Doesn't matter the name.
Okay.
Okay? Or if you have a business, doesn't matter your name. Doesn't. Because you can submit for a DBA, doing business as, if needed. But you just need a legal business. This is key because several people, I have a business.
Damn.
When was the last time you paid your annual fee?
Yeah.
So it has to be an active business.
Yeah.
And you need the form from the IRS.
So you need a business, and what's the IRS form?
It has your tax ID.
Okay, gotcha.
EIN,
okay, that's what you're saying.
TIN. Yeah, you have to have that.
So you need to be official business, and
Gotta
you
have
need an
official.
official document
Official
that has
document.
your EIN or
Yes.
TIN from the government.
Yes. Yes.
IRS, yeah.
Need that. Second, you must have a physical address.
Okay. No virtual address?
You can't use a virtual
You
address.
can't use Regis?
Well, as long as your contract allows you to use the space.
Okay.
But it has to be physical because of fraud, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They really cracked down on this in the past few years.
So does someone actually have to physically buy or physically lease out a space? How
They can use their home,
Okay.
trailer, apartment, condo.
So it just has to be a real place.
Has to be real.
Okay, got it.
Like where people can come to.
Got you.
Has to be real.
Okay.
Then you submit to sam.gov.
Okay.
It's free.
I'm a business. I got my document for the IRS.
Yes.
There's an address where you can physically go to, open the door and close the door.
Yep.
And then I'm submitting docs, my
Sam.gov.
application to sam.gov.
Free.
Okay.
You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And, because this has been coming up, you do not need any certified letters. Please do not do that. Please.
What letter would they be certified?
It was from several years ago. It was like right around COVID.
Okay.
There was an influx of fraud. And what people would do is they would go and they would call, hey, I'm connected to XYZ company. I don't have access. Can you help me? Oh, yeah, of course. Boop, boop, boop. Because your banking information is connected to sam.gov. So then they would reroute the money. And you as the business owner, you wouldn't be alerted that your banking information was changed on sam.gov. But you invoice and then you're like, where's my money?
Yo, these scammers be scamming.
So as a result, Their solution was, okay, we're going to have you send a certified letter. Well, clearly, I mean, come on, that process procedure, yeah. So then they quickly changed that. And they upgraded the system.
Gotcha.
But there's still some people and places who will say,
You need that.
and you don't.
You don't need that. Okay.
Please don't. Please don't. Because this stresses me out. I'm like, y'all, you don't need this. The other thing is, if you have a business bank account, that's cool. If you don't, just put your bank account in there.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to fill in the information. The other thing is they're going to ask for a NAICS code, and you may be like, what in the heck? What is that?
NAICS?
NAICS, a NAICS.
Okay, NAICS. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's just you identifying an area that's of interest. Pick anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Just gotta fill in the box.
Just fill in the box. You can go back, I promise you all. You can go back and change it. You just want to get to the cage code. And of course, I have a video on this on my channel. Go through the entire process. Then you're gonna get a UEI number. Then they're gonna give you a cage code. As soon as you have the cage code, you can be a prime contractor. And then as an added bonus, you can be a subcontractor without doing any of this. So let's say someone out there is a trainer and we need that type of trainer for my main business, KPC, and you're like, yes, I would love to do it. And we say we're gonna pay you $1,000 a day. You don't have to be in any of these systems because you're a subcontractor.
Yep.
But to
Get the
own the
award.
contract, to get the award, you must be in SAM.
Prime contractor.
Right. So then once you go through the steps, you wanna make sure you check your email because they may ask additional questions. So check your email, follow up, don't be scared. They're just asking questions because of fraud. That's it.
Makes sense.
That's the only thing. And then you get your cage code, and then now it's time to put it into action. Is bid, bid, bid. You don't need to know everything. Because that's, again, another, we live in this society, like, oh, everything has to be so perfect. And no, it doesn't. I mean, think of all the recalls in just the United States alone.
For real though, Tesla, since I owned my Tesla, there was 2 recalls. They weren't really huge, but there was 2 recalls. Toyota had a huge recall.
Tons of recalls throughout the history.
Yeah.
Baby products, furniture at IKEA, food.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. So how is that any different than government contracting?
Yeah.
We have to be perfect.
It's a really good point.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Recalls, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to be perfect.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
not the game.
Yeah.
We are here to make their lives easier.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And they got the money and they need to spend it.
Right, and they just need the thing.
Yeah. And going back to kind of what you mentioned earlier, and I kind of touched on it as well, is like the government, like we spend money all the time. Like they taxing us anyway.
Right.
Let's go get your money.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Go get your money. Get a government contract.
Bid on something.
Yeah.
Try. And the other thing is, it's going to take more than one try. It's not like somebody gets in the NBA and wow, they won a ring. Oh, they're now on the All-Star team.
Once you get in there, you still got to go to work.
You got to go to work.
Yeah. Facts.
You know, when I was working out in Miami, I used to work out at a gym.
Boxer?
Just like
Just like a gym.
weightlifting and stuff. And Core Fitness is the name. And there are a lot of professional athletes who worked out there. And so one of them was Jeff Green. And when I noticed, time and time again, he always crushed it. He didn't go in there with an entourage. He didn't have what I call a flip-flop friend. He would go there. He was nice. He was amazing. He would do his thing. And he recently won a championship. There were other basketball players. I don't know who these people are. And they would kind of come in. They would be sleeping in their little Range Rover. They would walk into the gym. They would have a little entourage. They would have the friend with the flip-flops and the socks who would sit on the bike looking all crazy. This is sharing my experience. And I was always like, this is so intriguing. You just come in here like, Now you could say, but Kizzy, they're in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's still not enough.
Not yet.
How long are they in the NBA?
Exactly.
They're not Jeff Green. I don't even know these people's names. I don't even know what team they play for. And I know a lot about sports. So it's like the same kind of analogy. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Even when you get the cage code, even when you win a contract, even if you're Lockheed Martin, they're not sitting on their laurels like, oh, we're so great. They still have to bid.
Yeah, they still got to do the work.
Right, you still got to put in the work. So don't be the flip-flop friend.
I like it.
Don't be that friend.
I like that. Okay. So That didn't sound like a lot at all. So
It's not.
You can get a. So you can get
It's a lot.
okay. So you can get a contract. You can be an ex-felon.
Pretty much.
You know, asterisk on
Right.
the type, but
Right.
you can still have that designation, right, and still get an award. You can be someone that's homeless
Pretty much.
and get an award. Single mom,
Yeah.
divorcee,
Yeah.
friend on the couch. That's couch surfing.
Couch surfing, a veteran.
Yeah. I think that's a big one too. Like, cause veterans, they come back and a lot of them, you know, they find it's a little difficult to like kind of like reassimilate.
Yep.
Yeah. So they can get it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to add, because you may be thinking, wait a minute, don't I have to have some kind of set aside or minority this or woman this or veteran this or
And the set aside is basically like a category. Like
that you've applied
like
for?
a class.
Like a class, like you've applied for. They have these at the state level too. And the answer is no. Unless you incorrectly answer the questions on sam.gov or you're registering a nonprofit, pretty much everyone viewing, you are a small business. And this is not anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because when I say small business, for some categories, that's $20 million a year.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So as a small
But
business,
I think that's also great. To
I think it's great too.
How big
Yes.
and how much opportunity.
So many
Yeah.
opportunities. Like one of my colleagues, I suspect this year he's going to do between 30 and 50 million.
Yeah. And that's amazing too, because you know what you said earlier about fighting. Well, you said people be fighting for their
Excuses.
yeah, fighting for the excuses.
Oh my gosh.
And then you just made a correlation like you have, you know, he bought the 40, 50 million, right? And if you think about someone that has the excuses, and 40, 50 million seems so drastic. But because really it's in abundance and a lot of us have been programmed that it's scarce,
Yep.
it's not really that crazy when you understand that if you just do the work and you're in certain spaces, you can command, like, you know what I mean? Because I remember, like, even before, I've been in entrepreneurship for a while, but I remember when I first started my first thing, I was 20, right? And the basketball leagues in the city, and, you know, I just woke up with the idea. I was like, okay, they're gonna pay to be in the league. I'm gonna get these sponsors for every single team. And then, you know, I'm gonna get the city to give me the course for free. I think I made like $12,000,
That's amazing.
right? And, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about like business credit. I didn't know about any of that stuff. But the idea that, and I was working at Sprint at the time, but the idea that I had to work at Sprint like overtime just to keep the money that I was making because of taxes. But then I just ran a basketball league, and in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I made like way more money. But so that even level of belief was just, it was enough that I could see, okay, wow, like time and money's not, you know, it's not like, it's not one. You know what I'm saying? They're separate.
They're very
And
separate.
then but then it took more time. So fast forward, like when you say something like that, like for some people it may sound like really big, but that's just let you know, that's still small in the grand scheme of like how much opportunity is here.
No, it's super small.
Yeah, because you think about like if you go to Dubai and people in the Middle East that, you know, just, because they're like, you got Lambos and Ferraris and it's just regular, you know?
Right.
And families just have this money, it's just regular. It's like air.
Right.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
That's a big correlation.
It is.
And it's like a big like light bulb. And that's why people need to travel and like just be around different places.
And read.
And read too. Because I don't know about too many other countries' culture as much as I know obviously about this, you know, living here in America. But, you know, with as much programming that we're getting, you would never think you could do better if you weren't connected to a coach, mentor, reading, tapped into the right frequencies, good friends. You would only think it's one way. I got to work, and what I get is what I get.
I got to put some aside.
Yeah.
I have to have a house. I got to show off to my friends and family.
Yeah.
I got to prepare for whatever holiday.
And 6 figures is $100K.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
amazing. That's a lot.
But you don't think that 6 figures could really be 975,000.
Right, or 9.9 million.
Exactly. Well, 6 figures.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm thinking bigger than 6
No,
figures.
100%. No, 100%.
You know, I'm like,
yeah.
people think 6
That's
figures
it.
is
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And it's like, no, it's an illusion.
100%.
All of it is an illusion.
Yeah, all of it. Like, if you think about it, I flew here with no money, got in a taxi, didn't use no money, ate food, didn't use no money, got here, didn't use no money. Just I didn't use no money. I didn't give him no money.
Right, it's a card.
It was no money. This is for free. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I didn't pay nothing. I went to a whole nother country to sit down on a couch with Dr. Parks,
No, thanks.
have an amazing conversation that you guys get all this value from, and it cost me nothing. Obviously, yeah, we use credit cards and,
Right,
it
or
came
whatever.
out. But there was no actual exchange because it's digital. It's digits. And it could be whatever you want.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
And people think like,
I hope that's not over your head, by the way.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
They're on it. They're thinking of coming to Mexico at least.
Yeah.
And especially here, because people think, oh, it's Mexico. Isn't it scary or isn't it this? And it's like, we are programmed.
Yeah.
We are influenced wherever we are in the world. So it's about questioning, what is it that you're consuming? What are your beliefs? No different than government contracting. If the belief is, oh, I can't do it, I need to have a job, I need to have a 401k, that has nothing to do with government contracting. That has to do with you and scarcity and security, and that's cool. If you're like, listen, that sounds great, but I want a job, maybe I'll do it on the side, that's awesome. If you're like, hey, I'll get a job with the government, which I always encourage, because the federal government is one of the few places that offers a pension. Why not? Or maybe you're like, oh, I'll just support friends or family, I don't know. That's cool too. Your decision is your decision. That's what's great. We have choice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just reflect, open up. Think about, why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you consuming the things that you're doing? Whether it's food, it's music, it's what you're reading, what you're watching. Why are you not reading? Reading has never been really cool, right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, I brought a book with me.
Yeah, I have books everywhere. Books, Audible.
I love books.
I got my own book, winnerswaybook.com.
Do you have one? Can I get one?
I will get you one.
Yeah.
I will get you one, because I have my one copy here in Mexico. So winnerswaybook.com. I'll get you a copy.
I told, you know who Shabazz the OG is on Instagram?
It's familiar.
Well, I told him, so when I first met him, I got introduced to him in Miami, just randomly through somebody. And we just talking, like 30-minute conversation. First time I ever met him out on the street. And I was like, you got a book? He was like, yeah. I was like, yo, I need to buy it. So I just bought it right away. But I really like when people have books, because I feel like it's a very great way to ingratiate yourself with someone, support them. But then also it's like you get to learn a lot about who that person is and what they got going on. And it's like $20 or $30.
Yeah, pretty much.
$10 or something. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's on Audible, like you got Audible's free.
Right.
Essentially. So yeah, I need it. I need a copy. Please.
I'll get you a copy, and it comes with, if you go to winnerswaybook.com, comes with free bonuses.
I love that.
Yeah, and people have won contracts like Noor from buying the book, watching the videos, using the free content. Yeah.
This is great. I feel like we can keep going forever.
I know.
You know? And you got something going on tonight.
I do.
And, you guys probably got something going on tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Registering on sam.gov.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That's what they're doing.
That was the segue, but you beat me to it.
I did.
This has been great.
Why are you missing out on federal government contracting? My name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. I've been awarded over $50 million in federal government contracts, and I am here to provide strategies that you can implement today in order to find, bid, and win profitable federal government contracts. Tune in.
What's something they should worry about? We should give them that. Well, not worry, but what's something that might come up, because we talked about how easy it is for them to get it going. Is there something that they should be just have some self-awareness about?
Business basics, funding.
Okay.
Just business basics.
Yeah.
Because I'm asked, do I need money? Does the government pay me ahead of time? How do I figure out my profit? Like business basics. So basics are, you're offering something, a product or service. You have your expenses. So the product and service that you're offering, the expenses connected, and then you have to take in consideration your profit.
Yeah.
And you do the math, and that's what you charge. At the bare bone basics, okay? Just bare bone basics. There's no perfect, you always add 10%, 20%, 50% profit. I don't know what your costs are.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know what your expenses are. So you got to figure that out and just do some research. I have videos on it. Next, the government is not paying you ahead. So if you
like
just
net 30, 60, 90 or something?
30, 60.
Okay.
And if you sell like a product, you're going to have to use those negotiation skills, those sales skills, those persuasion skills to see if they will exercise a net 30, a line of credit. You're going to have to look into that. Or factoring, credit cards, friends, family, you pawn and stuff. I mean, you got to figure that out. That's why I like services, because typically we can say, hey, trainer, we're going to pay you within 30 to 60 days.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Because instead, if you're selling cameras,
You got to front it.
You got to front.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing.
And you could do that if you have business credit or something like that.
Right.
Or like if you have the money.
Or a decent credit score.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's really realistic too. Because I think, I like that kind of gives a little bit of a, real expectation of like a hurdle that could occur. Yeah.
And it often occurs because then people give back contracts because they didn't think about it.
They give them back.
Yep.
Wow.
I know, and that breaks my heart.
That's kind of crazy. It's like you got a contract, you set yourself up. The contract is for a certain award, so you know how much you're gonna get paid.
Yep.
But you can't fulfill the contract because you can't get the money to.
Yep.
That's wild.
I know.
It's like you could see I got 100,000, 250, a million, or whatever I got, but you're stuck up on I don't have the 10K, 20K, 5K, whatever to get the stuff so I can get the thing. It's crazy.
It's very crazy.
I would go to my family if it was like that.
I would do anything.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. I would make it possible.
Facts.
So I'm selling something, cashing in something. I'm making this happen.
Yeah, I remember I did the same thing like when I wanted to get my real estate license. I had like 2 pair of Kobe's and a pair of Jordans in my closet. Sold all of them things.
They were gone.
You know what I'm saying? Gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
100%.
I mean, when I first started out, I didn't understand, as a subcontractor, I don't get paid for 30 to 60 days. I cashed out a 401k I happened to have.
That's because you had that level of belief though. Yeah. Because some people would be like, no, I'm not going to cash out my 401k. Well,
Yeah.
that's like, what do they say? It's like, you cut the nose off and spite the face or something? Is that how they say it? Yeah, that's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Before we wrap up, we're in Mexico. You said the energy's high here. Avoid the water, frequency vibrations. A lot of transformational things happen, especially in Tulum.
Oh, especially here in
So
Tulum.
what are 2, 3, 4 things you can share that could be transformational sparks for people that are watching that made it this far? Maybe it's not going to change immediately, but it could be a gem, an idea. What could spark some transformation?
You have to believe that's already happened. Number one, it's already happening. Whatever that thing is, not the negative, of course. Whatever the thing is that you conjure, that you pray for, that you speak, that you give life to, it's already happened. And live like it's happened.
Yeah.
That's really important. And that's a big takeaway I got from Elena Cardone, too.
Live like it's happening.
Live like it's happening.
Yeah. That's
And
why I'm in
say-
Mexico
It is.
interviewing her for free. And
That's
it costs me nothing.
Right. and speak what you want.
Yeah.
Now, I don't advise like you tell everyone because they're going to try and squash it.
Yeah.
But you can speak it in front of a mirror, like be very vocal with what you want. Like I have unlimited financial abundance that what doesn't serve me, I downsize.
Yeah.
And I downsize what doesn't serve me. I mean, these are just little things, but let's say you have goals. Like I see my services contract, I see my services contract with the Navy and it begins on 1 December or whatever, however you want to phrase it, it's up to you.
Gotcha.
But you're putting it out there. Like, I'm going to get my cage code. I'm going to win a contract or I'm going to submit some contracts. Whatever it is, or, my marriage is going to improve. Whatever it is, it's like you're putting out there the positive, and you're believing it's happened. Like it's already happened.
Yeah.
Because when we think like, oh, is this going to happen? Is we get all, then that's what happens. Like for me, at least, anytime I'm like, man, this is a great example. Okay, I have 2 examples. One is I flew in and I was like, man, I hope, is there going to be a car accident on my way back? Oh my gosh. And I was like, Kizzy, you got to stop this. I forget. Listen, you can see the Cat Williams, Club Shay Shay interview, very similar to what I'm talking about with the power of manifesting.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm in the car, and then I'm in the car for 4 hours from Cancun to here because there was a car accident. like a really bad one, like people died and everything. And I remember it happening, and I was like, okay, Kizzy, you gotta stop this, because you already have the situation with jury duty. So before moving to Tulum, I was like obsessed with being on a jury. I was like, how come they never picked me? Black female with PhD, you're discriminating. Meanwhile, I see all my friends getting selected all the time. I'm like, I want to be on a jury. So my friend was on a jury, and I'm not kidding. Like, I know it sounds crazy. It's just, this is how it is. I'm telling the truth. So I was like, I want to be on a jury. I'm gonna be on a jury. I'm gonna be on a jury. I get selected. You're gonna be on a jury. You got jury duty. Like, this is within 6 months.
Yeah.
I go to jury duty, and I was like, okay, big room. They have a list. Kizzy Parks, what? I get put into the courtroom. Judge is there, and she's like, okay, so this is a double homicide. No weapons were used. I was like, what is happening? And thankfully, I got out of it. It was maddening. And the point is, I was like, I'm manifesting things I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm putting out there things I don't want. And it's like, this makes no sense. So that's been one of the biggest like transformations being here, is seeing that and realizing it's putting out there what you do want, loving yourself, giving the best to yourself, surrounding yourself with amazing people. Don't be around no dusties. Don't be around no people trying to take from you. Because when we raise, this is the other thing that's important. When we raise, people either have to come with us or they're going to try and take us down.
Yeah.
No matter who they are. And you're going to be shocked, because it's going to be a family, friend, significant other, and you're going to say, nah, Kizzy, that is not going to happen. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you're going to find that strangers like us are going to be more supportive. Or if you join my Facebook group.
That's a fact, yeah.
It's true.
I like that.
That's why I love my Facebook group.
Yeah.
Because we're all there cheering each other on, because if a cousin sees you moving up, then it's like, we grew up together. How come he's in Mexico? I'm not in Mexico. How come he's got a podcast? I don't got no podcast. So then I'm going to judge. Oh, see, you went to Mexico, huh? How was that? You know, and then it's like, what? Why aren't they happy for me?
Yeah, facts.
Why aren't they celebrating me? Why aren't they buying from me? Why do they want a discount? That's the last thing. Don't ask your friends and family that have a business for a discount. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Support them. Pour into them. You know, I had somebody do something for me recently. I talked to them about government contracting, and like they immediately bought one of my videos. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's why I buy books.
You know, I love that.
Like literally, that's why I buy books, especially for people that I just meet. Because it's like, I think it's important.
It's super important.
It's like, yo, let me get the book, bro.
Right.
Let me get the book, sis. What you got? Why? How come I don't have a book yet?
Right. No, I'll get you a book. I'll get you them here, because I don't have things shipped here.
Yeah.
But it's important, because if you're going to ask the government to buy something from you at a certain price, then you have to be willing to support others.
I say that to people all the time. There was someone that wanted some podcast guesting services, because we do that. And he was going to do the intro package, which is fine. The intro package is $15K.
That's a good deal.
But he's like, can you do it for 10? And I'm like, well, no, we can't do it for 10 actually. So if you want it, it's 15. But this is the thing, you got a product service. So, but you want people to pay you full price, but you don't want to pay us full price, but you want us to give you full price services. You know what I'm saying? Where they do that at, bro?
I know, and then you get what you
and I didn't do. I didn't take him on as a client.
I wouldn't have, because then it would have been, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Can't you add this?
Exactly.
And then it never ends.
Yep. Or if we didn't fulfill everything, it's like, well, where's everything?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I believe in abundance. So much in abundance and in giving. Like, I give in so many ways, and I'm not the type who puts it on social, like, look at me giving, and the person's crying. Like, you're not going to ever see that. You're not going to see that. But it's so important to give, because so many people have given to me, and it's like, how can I ask to be on PAX 3 or to be awarded on Oasis Plus? These are contract awards.
Yeah.
When I'm over here like, can I get a discount? Can I have this? Like, it just doesn't, the energy doesn't match.
Yeah.
That's conflicting.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I might have to come back to Mexico.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Spend some more time.
You can come here anytime.
This is fire.
Yeah.
This is really good for it.
This is amazing.
No, I'm serious.
Well, I love it. I'm serious too. I love it here.
Okay, cool. No.
We can do whatever.
I mean, the podcast though.
No, I know. I'm just saying for real. Like,
I mean,
I'm
this
not
is
going
dope.
anywhere.
This is dope too, but this is dope.
Yeah, I'm always here.
Okay. Where can people go to tap in with you? Maybe get a book. Maybe learn more about government contract. That's not on YouTube. Or maybe you want to talk about YouTube. Where can they get into your world? Learn more about what you got going on.
Well, right now, one of the hottest spots is TikTok. I've been going live on TikTok.
You've been tickety-talking?
Tickety-talking Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
After 11 p.m.
Like
Eastern
TikTok
time.
Live?
TikTok Lives.
Nice.
And I have a contracting officer who's deployed. He's been joining. So he will answer all your questions.
That's lit.
So you have the perspective of a contracting officer and an actual government contractor. That's a great place to go.
Yeah.
I say you go to Tickety-Talk, go to TikTok.
Yeah.
You can go to my YouTube page, Kizzy Parks. I'm blonde, super blonde, platinum in that one.
Okay.
Check out winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. And if you want to join my Facebook group, just DM me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I'll give you the link.
That was amazing.
Please join the Facebook group.
Listen, guys, today's podcast was super dope. Make sure you guys follow everything she got going on. All the information will be below. And we'll see you guys on another episode of the podcast.